A very good o'clock, dear students. Here I am Nikita ma'am, your geography teacher. Students, today we are going to study about the waterways and airways, that are two other means of transport in the country. Okay, so waterways are the cheapest and oldest means of transport. Before we try to develop or we discovered any other means of transport, people used to travel from one place to another or cross country by the means of waterways. So what are the importance of waterways? Basically, it's the most suitable for carrying heavy loads and bulky goods. Okay, since we don't have roadways or railways connected cross country, so the waterways are the only and the most essential means of carrying goods and people from bulky goods and people from one place to another. It's a fuel efficient and environment friendly mode of transport. Okay, it doesn't cause any kind of pollution, and it's also a fuel efficient method. It requires less fuel as compared to other means of transport. Next is that elements of wear and tear is very less, since it is safer means of transport, and it removes slowly, so there are less chances of wear and tear of any goods. Okay, next is more 95% of the country's trade volume is moved by the sea. It means that most of the international trade is carried by the waterways only. As I told you that we're connected by airways, which is not suitable for carrying heavy loads and bulky loads. Okay, and second thing, not connected by railways and roadways. That's why it is the only means of transport. And with the development of national waterways, it has become the main source of transportation for natural trade too. Now, what are the inland waterways? The government has declared the following waterways as national waterways. Just like we have national roadways, national highways, in the same way we have national waterways. Okay, so the Ganga River, Prayagraj and Haldia, 1620 kilometer in length, is the largest waterway. Then Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dhubri, 891 kilometer navigable length. West Coast Canal between Kollam and Kottayam in Kerala with 168 kilometer navigable length, and then Champakara Canal 14 kilometer and Udyog Mandal Canal in Kerala 22 kilometer. Okay, so the largest route among all these is the Ganga River between Prayagraj and Haldia. Okay, that is 1620 kilometer navigable length in total. Godavari, Krishna, Barak, Sundarbans, Buckingham Canal, Brahmani, East-West Canal, the Damodar Valley Corporation Canal. These are some other viable inland waterways. Okay, so waterways have remained underdeveloped in the southern India. In South India, waterways are underdeveloped because the rivers are non-perennial nature. It means there is no continuous flow of water throughout the year. To make the waterways navigable throughout the year, there should be a perennial flow of the river, which is absent in the southern areas, because the rivers are originating from the peninsular regions, from the plateau regions. Okay, so there's no source of water continuously flowing. They are seasonal rivers and they flow swiftly over the plateaus and highlands. Yeah, the next thing is that the flow is very swift, that is fast. Now about the major seaports of India. So major seaports of west coast, since we have a coastline spread in the east and west both. So main ports in the west, on the west coast are there are 12 major ports in all in the country and 200 medium and small ports. Okay, and the total coastline of the country is 7,516.6 kilometer. First important port is Kandla. It is in Kutch district of Gujarat, and this was the first port developed after independence soon, because the Karachi port was lost to Pakistan after the partition, and Mumbai port had a great pressure of traffic. So to reduce that traffic, this port was developed in the Kutch region of Gujarat. Okay, and this caters to convenient handling of exports and imports because it's a tidal port. Okay, tidal port helps in easy launching of vessels into the sea. Okay, and it is important for highly productive granary and industrial belt stretching across the Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, states of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. That means that agricultural as well as industrial products are imported and exported from this port, which are used in following states. And then Mumbai, it is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour. Okay, it is the biggest port of the country, and the Jawaharlal Nehru port at Nehru-Shiva was planned with a view to decongest Mumbai port and serve as a hub port for this region. This another port, that is Jawaharlal Nehru port, was constructed to reduce the traffic from the Mumbai port. Okay, then Marmagao port, that is in Goa, it is a premier iron ore exporting port of the country, and this port accounts for about 50% of India's iron ore export. मतलब इंडिया का 50% आयरन ओर का एक्सपोर्ट हमारा मारमागांव पोर्ट से होता है. Then is New Mangalore, which is in Karnataka, and it caters to export of iron ore concentrates from the Kudermukh mines. Kudermukh, which are located in Karnataka itself, it exports the iron from these mines, which is of high quality. Then Kochi, it's the extreme southwestern port located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbor. Okay, it has a natural harbor. Then harbor means the side of the sea, okay, where these vessels are parked. Then ports of east coast, first is Tuticorin, that is in Tamil Nadu, and this has a natural harbor and rich hinterland. Hinterland means the area that is which surrounds the port. Okay, hinterland means the inside areas of that port. Okay, then thus it has a flourishing trade handling of a large variety of cargoes to even our neighboring countries. Means it handles a lot of cargoes. Cargo means the load of the goods. Okay, so it exports the material to Sri Lanka, Maldives, the neighboring countries of India. Chennai, it's one of the oldest artificial ports of the country, oldest artificially constructed port. It's ranked next to Mumbai in terms of volume of trade and cargo. Okay, so basically it is the second busiest port of the country. Then it's Vishakhapatnam, it's the deepest and the landlocked, well protected port. Okay, it's basically the safest port, and this port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore export. Mainly it started as a iron ore export. Okay, then Paradeep, the port is located in Odisha, specializes in the export of Vishakhapatnam, exports iron and steel, which is manufactured in the Vishakhapatnam steel plant. Okay, we studied that earlier. Then Paradeep, located in Odisha, specializes in the export of iron ore again. Kolkata, it's an inland riverine port. It's an inland port. Okay, basically the trade inside the country is carried by this port, that is Kolkata. It serves as a very large hinterland, rich hinterland of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. It's in large hinterland of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. It means a lot of population is connected with this port, and it's tidal port, so it requires constant dredging of Hooghly. It means that Hooghly river is it is located on Hooghly river, so river has to be continuously cleared as it is a tidal port. So whenever the tides come, it is fully locked by the a lot of silt is accumulated near the harbor, which needs to be cleared for easy launching of the vessels. Okay, then Haldia port of Bengal, it was created 100 kilometer downstream of Kolkata, at the confluence of Hooghly and Haldia river, to release the pressure on the Kolkata port. Okay, so next up we have importance of port. What is the importance of port? So 1.95% of country's trade volume is moved by sea. Most of the volume is moved by sea, and there are main source of exporting bulky raw material and finished good. As I told you, it's not viable and feasible to transport heavy goods through air medium. That's why they are the only medium to transport heavy bulky goods. They promote international trade. Obviously international trade is promoted, help in overcoming congestion of the mainland corridors. Okay, means the mainland corridors, that is the roads and railways, are also relieved while domestic transportation. Ports provide employment to skilled and unskilled workers. Means all kinds of workers are engaged here, like in unloading and loading of material, and also then fixing of the ships. Okay, fueling of the ships, many things are there. Okay, then water transport, the process of moving people, goods, etc. by barge, boat, ship or sailboat over a sea, ocean, lake, canal and river. Okay, it is the process. Basically it's fuel efficient also and environment friendly. It does not create any kind of pollution or kills anyone. Okay, it doesn't lead to deforestation as well. So it's environment friendly and fuel efficient means. What are the advantages? It is the cheapest means of transport. Then cost of developing waterways is negligible as compared to the other means of transport. When we go to construct the roadways or railways, or airways, it requires a huge investment, whereas compared to the construction of any port or waterways, the maintenance cost of a waterway is also negligible. It doesn't need any kind of maintenance. Water transport needs fuel as compared to road and railways need less fuel. Okay, then more suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods, as I told you, and it's an eco-friendly mode. Then promote trade, as more than 70% of the world trade is carried through waterways. Okay, now there are some disadvantages too, that this mode of transport has declined considerably with the expansion of roads and railways. When expanded, its importance has declined, and also the diversion of river water for irrigation has reduced the importance of inland water transport. Okay, because of the reduction in the volume of water in the rivers, and decline also due to deforestation of hill ranges leading to erosion, accumulation of silt in rivers. Then water transport as a whole is much slower than its road, rail, and air competitors. Okay, it is a slower means of transport, provide access to limited areas. All areas cannot be accessed through it, especially the inland areas. Out of the total inland water body available, the world, very low percent of its potentially navigable. As we saw that in the national waterways, there is very less navigable length, and in that itself the very less navigable length is used in practical. Got it? So most of the rivers, basically it needs a perennial source of water. As I told you, in South India it's not developed because of the non-perennial nature of the rivers. Okay, and most of the non-perennial rivers are there in South. Due to this, inland water transport is not very popular. Now coming to airways quickly, it's a fastest mode of transport, as we all know, though it is the costliest also. Costliest and fastest. Okay, entry of private companies had made its availability easy and accessible to more people, and there are chances in future that this will become a cheap and a main means of transport in the country. Then advantages of airways are that it's the fastest mode of transport, suitable carriages of goods over a long distance requiring less time. Okay, then it provide comfortable, efficient, and quick transport services. It provide comfortable service, efficient service, and quick service, regarded as the best transport means for transporting perishable goods, as the perishable goods need to be transported in immediate time. Okay, then air transport is regarded as the only means of transport in those areas which are inaccessible by other means of transport. There are some areas of difficult terrain, like the areas of northeast mountains. These are only accessible through this air transport. Okay, then disadvantages are, in spite of many advantages, these are most costliest means. Okay, these are the costliest means of transport. These are also risky, as a minor accident can cause a great loss of life and property. Then it has a small carrying capacity, therefore not suitable for carrying bulky heavy goods, and it requires a huge investment for construction. Okay, for their construction, for construction of airports, for construction of airplanes, runways, it's a huge capital investment. What is new airways policy? So the government has ended the monopoly of Indian Airlines and Air India, which are public sector companies of airlines. So it has adopted an open sky policy. With the liberalization of Indian skies, consumers are getting cheaper and better services. It means the private companies are entering the field and playing with competition, which provides better facilities, and that too in a reasonable rates. Okay, then main objective of the aviation sector is set out in the 11th 5-year plan. The main objective of aviation, that is air services, was set up as to provide world-class services, infrastructure facilities, safe, reliable, and affordable air services to encourage growth of passenger and cargo traffic. Okay, apart from developing major and greenfield airports, the modernization of air traffic management is also envisaged. Okay, it means the new airways policy has encouraged the development of airports as well as the means of transport. Okay, that's all. Thank you.